What's going on, TCG enjoyers? I've got the GOAT, Henry Chao, number one NA with us today. We're going to break down his finals match, and we have lots of board states prepared as well to go over in-depth analysis. So if you're trying to get better at Pokemon, this is definitely the video you have to watch. So Henry, you can do a quick intro. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, Ciaran. I'm Henry Chao, sort of known for playing Gardevoir this season. I've won Baltimore and I won San Antonio. And yeah, I'm really excited to get into this finals because I think this was, well, I'm biased for saying this, but I think this is probably one of the more interesting finals we've had this year. And like, at least games 1 and 3, I think were both pretty interesting. Game 2 wasn't that great. But yeah, I'm excited to talk through it.
All right, so let's just hop into game one then. I think this one is probably the most even match where there's actual back and forth gameplay. So you and I have already discussed some things that we're gonna go over, but my first question for you is like, are you going first or second in this matchup? What do you think? So who won the flip here?
Yeah, I won the flip, and it took me a little bit to think about it. Yeah, it sort of depends on how confident I am his deck can pull off the Cologne Ninja play going first, turn 1, or sorry, turn 2. And I thought the odds were like pretty high, so that means that like I should be inclined to want to opt first myself because that gives me the upside of being able to establish 3 Curlias or being able to Evo it to at least a Gardevoir React. So that means like I'm guaranteed to have an avenue to get into Gardevoir Reacts on turn 3. Whereas if I go second and I just get 2 Curlies out, it's entirely possible I get wiped. The other thing about going second is you sometimes can like do these plays where you hold the Evo and then you just present them with a board of Ralt and they sort of have to decide what to do with their Star Portal. But this deck is able to use the Fan Rotom on turn 1 sometimes, so depending on your starter, they still might be able to progress the game while being able to keep their Star Portal. So I don't like that line as much against this deck as I do against like Terapagos.
Cool. All right, I think you don't prize. You only play one boss, but I mean it's near the bottom, so that's not too big of a deal.
Yeah, these are totally fine.
Actually, I think Alex Prize are way worse because Bibarel is actually a great Pokemon in this matchup.
Yeah, the Bidoof is really important. Yeah, I got lucky here. I was wondering why he didn't get it, and this makes more sense.
And then he prized Heavy Ball too, actually, so he's really not getting it. Nice. Sorry, we can skip to where it starts. So, all right, sweet. So,
okay, yeah. So if I recall, my hand was pretty good this game. I was able to get into Greninja early, which gives you a pretty huge advantage because this is a matchup where like your bench space isn't as important, so you're totally okay with getting the Greninja. And you also really want to get energies in the discard early in this matchup. So yeah, I think my hand is good, but I don't think I have the supporter yet. So I have like the draw, but I really want to make sure I can hit the supporter.
Nice. Yeah, I found with when I play Gardevoir, it's like if I don't have a supporter, like Greninja is always my first grab because I'm like the game kind of falls apart if I'm not getting a strong turn 2.
Yeah. I think like the awkward part about this hand is like I had like very finite energy and I like already had the Evo in hand. So it's like I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to continuously use the Greninja on both turn 1 and turn 2, but like it was better than any other option.
So if I remember correctly, you have 2 Psychics in your hand right now with the Evo. So like,
Okay.
yeah, I kind of wish they had like just a hand cam or something like always, but I get it. I guess it's hard for the broadcast. So oh, you had a vessel.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Oh, I have a Vessel. Okay, yeah. So that's like interesting because I think I had a Curlia and a Vessel. Well, maybe I don't have the Curlia.
You have Ralts, Gardevoir, Manaphy, and then you have Countercatcher Evo. I remember. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's a Greninja hand, like no question then.
Yeah. So,
if I had one Curlia, I'd be like maybe interesting.
Cool. So when you're thinking of an early game Vessel, like what are you picking here? So I think obviously you're going to keep the Manaphy because that's important.
Yeah.
And then Evo is part of your plans for next turn. So it's really you have Guardy, you have like Countercatcher, I guess, are the 2 that maybe you would consider throwing. So both of those are obviously like not needed right now, but you'll need them to win. So how would you pick which one you're going to keep?
Yeah, it's actually a really interesting decision already here. Like the Guardy volume doesn't really matter here in the sense that like I play 2 Stretcher, I play 2 Gardevoir React, so like I don't really care about losing the Gardevoir, but having it guaranteed for turn 3 is like pretty good. But there's also ideas of me evoing into the EX, so that's like another reason why maybe it's okay to dump the EX. Because yeah, it's true. Like the countercatcher volume, like you'll kind of see it throughout the set. Like spamming these countercatchers is like really annoying for Terapagos. So if I recall correctly, I think I end up dumping the CC here, but I'm actually not sure that's correct.
Yeah, that's actually I wrote down here. My first question in my notes was this scenario because I think initially we're gonna do Guardian, then you do switch to the countercatcher. So is this you maybe saying like I might not Evo next turn, or you just being like I just want to guarantee like I have a stream of Gardevoirs type of thing?
Yeah, well, this allows me the flexibility to Evo into a third Curlia and like feel better about it instead of like having to go directly into the EX. Because if you Evo directly into the EX, then you can target like your Curlia and your Ralt, and then you have no draw at all. So I'm not sure which one's better. I think it's like super close is really my conclusion here.
Yeah, I agree with that. I guess your hand's not the strongest, like you said earlier. So like if you get the triple Curlia, then like no matter
Yeah,
what, even if he goes like Greninja on both your Curlias or two
you get
Curlias,
one more refinement.
you have a draw
Play
to
it,
keep
yeah.
going. Yeah, I guess like what's the point of having like a late game card like Counter Catcher if you don't even get to the late game, right?
Yeah, exactly. This is a lower variance play, but that doesn't
Yeah,
necessarily mean it's better.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, and then yeah, your opening is pretty strong actually. I think for going
Yeah, I
first
get all the
hand without
basics.
popping. So yeah,
Yeah, and I got the Curlia off the concealed, which is like huge.
cool.
Oh, and then he read the research. I remember. Yeah, he was like really stressed. It looked like, and then he was a little less stressed. Then he doesn't end up getting the fan run amount, I think. So still like
Yeah.
a pretty below average start for him, which was lucky for me.
Yeah, I think his discard's here. I mean, Devo's not that important. I think this card is that boss? Yeah,
The
it's boss
vacuum.
in the middle. And yeah, vacuum.
Yeah, well, he
A
plays
vacuum
two
support.
Voss, which isn't terrible. But yeah, the vacuum. I take advantage of the vacuum discard later, but then I almost get punished by Silene, so it's sort of interesting.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, vacuum is definitely a really important card in this matchup.
Yeah, it's not necessarily for the Drifloon thing. Like, I don't really go aggressive with the Drifloon Charm, which I think a lot of other people are more inclined to do. But the ability to bump the area 0 and stop me from doing tricks to get around the Pheasant Dippy is sort of where I get scared of the vacuum.
So more like a heal for him, basically, type of thing.
Yeah, exactly. You can't, like, yeah, I want to, like, do these things where I do, like, 190 to Fez or stuff like that.
Nice. Yeah, his turn 1 is actually really weak. He has to rule the region. So.
Yeah, not getting the fan run was pretty unlucky for him. And just having the one, but then it kind of baits me into a false sense of security because I don't expect the ninja play. I mean, I played the turn out the same, but I wasn't really expecting to get ninja next turn. But I guess he dumped some energy, so it's not that unreasonable.
Nice. So okay, so now that you see this, so like you said, like it's not the strongest start. So like, I know you're probably thinking like I could still get Greninja, but you're probably thinking okay, like the likelihood's way less. So now
Yeah,
on your
exactly.
turn, like what are you prioritizing here?
Yeah, so I mean, I evolved the bench Curly immediately because I'm thinking I'm gonna have to go into some Evo into EX idea here. I don't have the third role tier, otherwise I would evolve the active from the start. But here I'm just like, at the very worst case scenario, I'm gonna Evo into EX to make sure I don't lose to the Greninja play. But like this refinement is obviously like super duper important. I have nothing else going on for my hand outside of this. If I get nothing here, I might have to make a really difficult decision as to whether I want to reach for this concealed cards. But yeah, and these are all things you really don't want to be deciding. I also have the really unlucky situation of drawing into my second EX here. That would be like a complete disaster because then I couldn't Evo into it. So there's a lot going through my head here, but I don't really have a choice other than to just start with turn with refinement.
Yeah. So you only like Henry's saying he only has 1 energy, so that's why he's not starting with concealed.
Yeah,
cool.
That's right.
Okay, and then I think you draw.
And I get a really interesting draw here. Yeah, pretty strong draw for sure. Ralt and Turo.
Hey, future Ciaran here. I actually think this is a position that seems fairly trivial and like not interesting, but I actually think there is some intricacies here. So I actually made it in a simulator and I've linked it in the description. So if you want to give it a go before watching what Henry does, try it out for yourself. Otherwise, just enjoy the rest of the VOD analysis.
And it takes me a second to like come up with this play, but essentially the idea here that you'll see me do is I can go ahead and use Turo to pick up the Curlia, and then not only do I get one more refinement, but then I also am like conserving this Curlia because now I can use Evo to target 2 Raltas on the bench while playing the Curlia to active, guaranteeing me a way to get the 3 Curlia. And I already have the EX in hand, so I have no desire to actually go Evo into the EX. So this like perfectly complements my hand.
So yeah, I think it's a really cool play. So I think the most obvious thing to do is like attach to your active and then like Evo like the Curlia Gardevoir. But like you said,
yeah,
like, now this guarantees at least 1 refinement on the following turn.
Yeah, it's really interesting. If I didn't have the extra EX in the hand, it would be a little bit closer. But since I have the access to the EX already there, I definitely like the idea of getting 3 Curlia, and I know they're both in deck.
Yeah. Yeah, and this also gets you 1 more draw this turn as well, actually, which I think is pretty big.
Yeah, and then if I recall correctly, I think I do get into a supporter off this. I think an Iono. So now I'm feeling really good about next turn.
Yeah, your hand's super stacked now. Because I mean, like I think Alex only plays 1 Iono, so like the odds of him playing it are super low. I mean, and even if he does, you don't really care. Like this thing.
Yeah, this would be a totally fine spot to get Iono, assuming I could get the Gardevoir EX. So yeah, this spot is really good. This is like everything I would want from a turn 2. This is like the upside of going first, being able to get into the 3 Curlias, and that's exactly what I got. So I'm feeling good about this game now.
Yeah, and yeah, you haven't even played a supporter. All right, sorry, you played Turo, but you haven't played Arvin or Iono. You just like naturally
not a real
Evo,
supporter.
which is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Well, I think Alex actually has a really interesting turn here. Like where he's kind of like has a lot of options after this Iono.
I didn't realize he had the Cologne in hand before he Iono'd. Sorry, maybe he should have Cologne before he Iono'd.
Yeah, Yeah, so that's an interesting thing. So, like, do you think Alex's goal this turn should be to like go for a clone Greninja play?
I think the answer is yes. I just think the matchup is so hard if you don't start with the Greninja play. Like, yeah, he did get the attach to the Palkia turn 1, so he wouldn't have to commit the Star Portal. But if he goes and like attacks my active, I can do really tricky stuff, which is sort of what I do later on in the set, where like I CC the Terapagos and then like snipe the Hoot Hoot, and then all of a sudden like, well, it depends how many Hoot. The issue is he doesn't have enough Hoot Hoots down. Essentially, if he can get 2 Hoot Hoots down, then he's a lot more safe. But if I'm able to kill like his only Hoot Hoot, then he has like no hope of finding this clone play again. I guess that's the issue. So like he has to kind of take it while it's available, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I think one of those things too is like since you have such a strong start, it's like if he doesn't get that play this turn, I feel like you're gonna run away with the game because your board is gonna get like so established.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things I think people would be like, oh, like what happens if I play Cologne and then I whiff Greninja? I'm like, well, that sucks. Like you're probably gonna lose, but you're also probably gonna lose if you don't do that play this turn. So sometimes you have to take these calculated risks, in my opinion, and just like go for it in a position where you're playing from behind in terms of like board, prize race, whatever. And I'd say Alex is definitely way behind in this particular situation. So
yeah, definitely agree with that.
cool. And he draws a really interesting hand here, or a scenario. So he actually gets a pretty decent hand here, actually.
The Ultra Blast card, okay.
So you get like Palkia, which is one of the cards you need. He has Vessel, he has Nest Ball to get Greninja, so we have ways to get the energy in the discard. And he has the Ultra Ball for the Noctowl, right?
Yeah, I think I remember feeling good after he used the Iono. I was like, really didn't think I was going to get Cologne paid when he Iono'd here. But yeah, this is a good combination, but maybe too late.
Yeah. So he goes for the concealed here. And then he draws 2 useless cards. Yeah, he draws his Fez Iono. So now if he wants to go for the Prime Catcher Clone, he has Ultra Ball to get the combo with the Noctowl. So I guess my question now here is it correct to do it now? Because like I feel like his board is super weak after this play. Because he has no more like Hoot Hoots anymore, right?
Yeah, he had like the Fez, but yeah, the Fez isn't really enough because it's sort of easy to go around that. Yeah. Yeah, I guess what is the other thing he could get? He could just go for like a Poffin off the Noctowl.
Yeah, like I have his board here. Like this was his hand, right? So it's like
I see.
We could go like attach, and then you Ultra Ball the Ciaran and the Fez. You get Noctowl. You get like Poffin, I guess. And I don't even know what the second card would be. It would be like Area 0 maybe for next turn. But I mean, like you haven't even played an Iono yet, so I guess that your supporter might be an Iono.
Yeah, I think like one of the issues here is like he prized a Bidoof. I feel like if you could get the Bidoof off the Poffin here, it would be a lot stronger. But getting all these Hoot out, yeah, it's pretty unlucky. Yeah, I don't mind the Cologne push from him here because it's once again like even though his hand is just so awkward, at least he's drawing 2 prizes with the Greninja, right? Just so awkward to not rip the Greninja here. Yeah. But yeah, like looking at both these plays,
this doesn't seem that good. Yeah,
so close. Yeah.
I guess if he does this play, like if you go for like you could actually I think realistically go for a Drifloon because the vacuum's gone and then like the Palkia's gone, like the Greninja threat's completely gone. You have 2 Curlias and Greninja. I don't think it's that hard for you to draw. Like pretty much an Arvin should get you there, right?
Yeah, the fact that I have the Ninja lets me push for the aggressive Drifloon plays more for sure.
Yeah. So I think definitely going for the Greninja play is probably correct, and then just hoping that you have like just a really poor turn.
I guess the thing to note is that if he had ripped the Cologne before he Iono'd, one of these Noctowl slots could be a Poffin, right? And then his spot actually would have been really strong, I feel like. Yeah,
because then you had double Hoot Hoot down. Yeah.
And he's drawing me too, yeah.
So, yeah, a really small thing like that, like playing a Cologne for an Iono turns, like completely changes the game. Which is kind of funny, because I feel like if you play like games a lot of the time, like you don't think about plays like that when you're like reflecting on your games, especially like when you don't have a VOD.
Yeah.
One other thing I wanted to ask you about is he knocks out your Curlia with the energy. Is that correct, or should he be knocking out the Curlias without the energies?
Yeah, it's like an interesting idea from him. Yeah, I definitely think he should knock out the one without the energy. Like, I think he should try to trap the energy, yeah. Like, me going into Gardevoir EX here is a little bit weak, because he wiped out both my... Like, I don't have any other Rult in play, right? So if I attack with the Gardevoir EX, he has realistic threat of 2-shotting the Gardevoir EX and letting me, like, without a board. So I don't really want to attach with the Gardevoir EX, which means he should try to trap the energy on board, so it's harder for me to Scream Tail. Is sort of the logic I would go down here.
Yeah, because I mean, Manatee's in the active, so you're gonna have to attach or treat this turn, and like you don't get Monkey this turn either, unless you want to play your second Turo on Manatee, which seems pretty weak.
Definitely
to me,
not,
especially since one is gone. So, yeah, some minor thing I think, but I think you only had one energy in the discard actually if you didn't knock that out. So actually, it might have been harder for you to pull off a big turn here.
Yeah, well, I guess I have the Drifloon chart. Okay, yeah, this is an interesting hand.
Yeah. So I guess let's pause here for a sec. So like, what are you thinking like going into this turn? Because like he doesn't have any like Noctiles for you to snipe. Like, I don't really think knocking out Palkia is that realistic right now.
Yeah, my instinct here, like sort of immediately, was to just kill the Greninja. So ideally, I want to countercatch a Trap Ghost, kill Greninja. I think that's really awkward for him. But I think I end up going into an Iono and just kind of hoping I hit a CC. And if not, I would just kill the active. Killing the Greninja isn't amazing here because the way this Palkia deck works, it feels like they dump a lot of their energies early on in the game, and they actually can't really sustain the Ninja later on. But there's just no real other target on his board. The other idea would be to punch his Palkia, which in retrospect may actually be the correct play. I'm not sure.
Like punch
I think
it with Gardevoir or Scream Tail?
No, like Scream Tail 120 the Palkia. Yeah, because like he is really limited on the energies here, right? Like I'm gonna kill his Palkia. He's already down a Star Portal. He doesn't really have the Hoodoos to support like these Glass Trumpet energy switch plays. So maybe I could get him on sort of an energy deficit. But on the other hand, I do think I'm like sort of just winning on prize trade if I kill the Greninja. So yeah, I mean, once again, like I don't know, this game is like really complicated. I'm not really sure which one is the best play here. I think both are good, but it's close.
And then when you say the prize trade, I think one thing to note is like his deck is actually really bad at knocking out Gardevoir. You need 5 bench and he needs 8 bench. And he also Ultra Ball does Ciaran, so like he can't get the plus 30 at any point in the game either. So yeah, I think you can definitely like just control the prize trade from here, taking out like the Trapagos, Palkia whenever you're ready, stuff like that. So
yeah, it's like I can easily convert an odd prize card using the Monkey Dories later on like a Hoot Hoot or a Fan Rotom or something. So I know that this one prize on Greninja will be pretty relevant. It's just like the question is if you could ever keep up with me killing the Palkia, and the answer might not be. Yeah, it might be no. Like maybe I should have done that.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I think you definitely evolved for you. I don't know there's no reason not to. And then I guess you're probably hoping here to draw one more Ralts or something to keep going.
Yeah, ideally, the best play here is definitely CC, Screamtail, Ralts, and then like regardless of what I Screamtail, like at least I'm getting that set up for the next turn.
Yeah. So you're talking about countercatcher Screamtail. Are you not worried that that's your second countercatcher and you don't get it the rest of the game, or are you thinking like you don't really need it anymore?
I mean, it's definitely a little. Yeah, I don't feel like I need it too much in order to like close the game out prize trade wise. You could argue that it's better to use later on in the game when like I'm Ionoing him to less cards. But the thing here is he just has no Hoodoo down, so this feels like the best play, the best time to like try to trap a Tropgos. He also is down as Prime Catcher and as Ciaran, so he's only out there either Switch or Energy Switch or the Thornton, which is I think is what ends up happening actually.
Yeah.
Or I guess Silene as well.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, and even if you get Silene, if you're knocking out Greninja, like how are you drawing the cards you put on top, right? So.
Yeah. You'd have to get like the stretcher for the Fez too. It'd have to be pretty lucky.
Yeah, if you buy yourself like a turn, like the tempo you get from that is like so huge.
Yep. Yeah, and I think that is what ends up happening.
So yeah, you got the Ralts, which I think was a big draw, and then.
Yeah, the Ralts is really needed because the Ralts is going to allow me to start attacking with my Gardevoir EX later, because then my Turo is like more activated if I can establish more Curlias on the bench, and obviously it's good for refinement as well.
Yeah, and then you did draw the countercatcher, right?
I did, yeah. I go take his Trapgos here.
Yeah, and then knock out. So one interesting thing is actually if Alex didn't knock out the Curlia with the energy, I don't actually think you could have Scream-tailed for knockout. So let's see.
But then I would have just 120 the Falk, right? And that might have been the better play anyway.
I was gonna say, like, do we just 120 the Falk then? So yeah, okay. So
that already might have been the right play. So I feel like that was like, since I'm not sure if it was the right play, I don't think it was really a misplay on his part.
Yeah, I mean, like knocking out Greninja also like limits his draw as well. If you're gonna try and go for this trap play. So.
Yeah, it's definitely true. It's just like I think he's down so many energies, and his stretchers are so stretched for, well, I guess, no pun intended. So I'm not actually scared of concealed cards here. Like if he draws an energy, does he even want a concealed card or just attach to the active? Like already, it's a tough decision.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Yeah, to threaten. Well, I guess he'd have to Silene again, right? To threaten the Shuriken again, but
Oh yeah, that's true. But yeah, like without the hoodoo sound, it feels like a pipe dream. Like I wasn't even really thinking about him re-getting the cologne. That would be like egregious.
Yeah. So. Oh, you just want to attach in general. Yeah, I agree with like it's attaching like Trapgos or something is like definitely like a hard decision there.
Oh yeah, exactly. Okay, so he gets the Poff in here.
Oh, yeah, double hoot for sure. I don't the reason anyone else, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess now that we see the run out, it's like if he had played that cologne on before the Iono, then he would have already had these 2/2s down, and then I think he has the Noctowl in hand. So that could have been like a domino effect.
Cool. And yeah, he gets the Trapgos here because he's gonna Thornton is active. Otherwise, I'm not gonna really know if you need another Trapgos on the bench.
Yeah, this makes sense. Yeah, I definitely forgot about this Thornton now, but I don't think it really changed what I did. But I was like surprised when he did it during the game.
Yeah, he actually whiffs an energy to retreat and attack. I think that's like a huge swing in the game.
Yeah. If he could have attacked this turn, the end game would have been much closer.
Yeah. Because yeah, now it's basically like you can take effectively 2 prizes this turn, either by knocking something out or just putting something like 1 monkey away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think my idea here, well, going into this turn, it's like really awkward. I think I like wanted to maybe Miracle Force here, but no, honestly, yeah, no. The idea here is I just want to hit for 200 as active with the Charm Screamtail, and the idea here is like even if he's able to Silene the Vacuum, he has a really tough decision as to whether to take the tool on the Screamtail or the Stadium in play to heal off his Fez, right? So it's like I can never really get punished for charming here. I think the only way I can get punished is if you boss trap something because I'm putting a bunch of energy on my Screamtail.
Yeah, I think you still have 1 Turo left though, right?
Yeah, I do.
And the
I
box,
can never get full
so,
traps.
yeah.
Yeah, I have decent outs.
Yeah, I don't really think you can attack with Gardevoir this turn because like you'd have 30 on it and like you can just one shot with Palkia, right?
Yeah, it'd have to be like combined with a Stadium bump, I think. But
yeah,
the Screamtail play is definitely better. Yeah.
I mean, it's effectively taking 2 prizes while also like not denying Fez as well, and like he doesn't have energy in his hand either, so like.
Yeah, he's gonna have to commit a card from Noctowl to it.
Yeah, which is that feels so bad whenever you have to do that.
Yeah, the deck is this deck definitely is like pretty good, but it has some like very serious issues. It feels like, particularly with your stretchers later on in the game just feel like they have to get too much. I think.
Yeah.
Because you throw like 5 out of your 7 energies into your discard at like the very beginning of the game, so it's like really tricky.
I think that's where him not having Vibro really hurts. But I mean, even if he had Vibro, you would have just knocked it out with Screamtail on the prior turn, I think.
Yep, definitely. So I know I stretch over Curly. This is like I think I had to stretch her the previous turn to get that roll. So I'm gonna run into like some slight issues later on in the game where I think I also prized my Rod or something. So like essentially
you have Rod left, but you prize your last Stark and you have 2 in the discard right now.
Oh yeah, okay. So my Rod is gonna have to get committed early. So I'm gonna get to the situation where I'm down all my recovery, which just means I have to be like really thorough when closing the game out. Like I can't make sure I can't run into issues or like I lose because I'm out of Screamtail or something like that. But it should always be possible here.
Yeah, and I guess you're down both your counter catchers too, but you have your boss left. So like you said, like you should be fine, but you're gonna have to play precise. You can't just like discard stuff anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think you prized anything like a Pokemon, but I mean like now I saw you write down your prizes, so like now for sure you should like be like, all right, like the dark is gone.
Yeah, I mean this is like one of my bad habits. I know a lot of my friends make fun of me for this. I always rip the heavy ball when I see it. Like I just cannot resist.
So in the third game you do it, and like you play Secret Box right after. I'm like, oh, you should have held that.
Definitely. But game 3, we'll get into game 3 when we get into game 3. But like I didn't even write my prizes down because I was so tilted. Like I didn't do a first deck search prize check because I was like I thought I was just done.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think almost anyone like knows all 6 of their prizes at the start. Like I don't check all 6 whenever.
I never do that. Yeah, I just usually look at energies and Gardevoir line and the monkeys.
So. I mean, I think at this point it doesn't matter that much. I don't think you need to discard anything. We'll call it thinning for Iono.
Well, I mean, I definitely would rip it there. It's like as long as I'm not limited by discards, I would rip it. But the problem is I do it both ways.
So you're gonna commit the Bravery Charm to Screamtail, which I think a lot of people will be like, oh, you only play 1. Like, do we not need to save this for Drifloon later? So I guess your logic is if you use it now, you can basically put like a Screamtail. Or no, sorry, Screamtail on Fez. Fez is into like Monkey Dory range later, so it's effectively getting you 2 prizes right now instead of holding it for a later opportunity type of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I could swing for 160 on it and just like get it with 2 Monkey Dories later, but I don't think I ever really care about like doing a Bravery Charm kill on his Palkia at this point. I mean, it actually wouldn't be bad. I don't know. I could go both ways here. I'm not really sure what's better.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing too is like we said, like you'd have to find your Super Rod and then grab the Darks. So probably next turn you'd have to like box for like the Rod and like Iono and hit them, which I don't think is that hard because your deck is pretty thin at this point. But
that was definitely the idea of the box. I think that's what I'd end up doing. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. But with the monkeys being stretched, it's like if you were to boss that first monkey or something like that, it could get awkward on converting on the Feds kill. I agree with that. Yeah, so I'm definitely thinking about this for a while, but seems correct.
yeah, no, I like this play. I think just denying Fed as well, and like you know that he's stuck, so he's gonna like you have to assume he has Noctowl, but like yeah, like forcing one of them to grab Switch or like Vessel or E-Switch, whatever, is definitely super strong.
Yep. Yeah, then here, yeah, he actually has the raw Silene in hand, so him having the Silene in hand was a little sketchy. I thought maybe he'd have to like Noctowl for Silene and then use the other Noctowl to get the vacuum if he wanted to do that play. But since he has the Silene in hand, he actually has a chance to pull the vacuum play off, but he gets double tails, of course.
So if he would have flipped heads and got vacuum, like how big of a swing do you think that would be? So he would knock out Scream Tail. What would you push up? Would you push up Gardevoir, or would you just sacrifice like Greninja or something?
I would probably just sack the Greninja, yeah.
Okay, so
I think unless I had the Turo in hand. Well, I did have the box to rip the Turo, actually. Yeah, and he's like limited on Gust, so I think actually you're right. I think you're right. Probably promoting the EX is a little bit better here.
Yeah, I guess if he punches the EX, well, he played Silene, so you know he can't play. If you could see what he puts back, so I guess you know he can't play Gust. And then I think you could just Turo the Guardy, maybe. I don't know if that's too slow because you're losing a Curlia, but
yeah, but I think Turing the Guardy is fine here because he would only have one Gust left. I think he's down a boss and a Prime, so he can never like two-shot kill the Guardy on my bench. So I think it would be okay. I guess the only issue is I don't really have many attackers left. Like now my Scream Tail is completely gone. And I would just have the Drifloon, and I'm getting limited on Gus. Yeah, it would get sketchy for sure. I'm really not sure.
Actually, I think is your Drifloon gone? I think you might have Ultra Balled it earlier. I can't. Okay,
is the Drifloon also gone? Yeah, I remember I had to shed like a ton of resources this game. So then this Turo EX play doesn't really work that well because EX is essentially my only attacker left.
Yeah.
I guess I could go in with a Mind Bend the next turn. It's actually not terrible, but
yeah, I mean, you can put a monkey down and not commit a Dark to Mind Bend, so I guess maybe
put two monkeys down, Dark one of them, something like that.
Yeah, that really did suck for Alex because I feel like the game would be a lot different. It'd be a lot more interesting, or not more interesting, but it'd be very different if he would have got one.
Yeah, I agree. I think it would have been interesting if he had to Noctowl to get the Silene and then use the other Noctowl to get the card from Silene. So then he wouldn't have any Noctowls left, but he would have removed the Fez. If he just raw Silened into the Noctowl, yeah, then I actually think the game would have been pretty sketchy for sure. Did not expect that. This deck is getting pretty thin.
Yeah, double stretcher. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what he wants the second stretcher for. I guess just like Noctowl to the next turn. But he saw me get the box, so he should probably just like know for sure he's getting Iono'd.
Yeah, I guess the question then is there a card he could have picked instead that's a higher value right away?
Yeah, or even just straight up getting a bad card and just saying like, I know you're Ionoing me could be decent. I'm not sure.
But then are you ever inclined to like not Iono maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I can't.
He doesn't know my list.
Yeah. He doesn't know. He didn't know your list going into this, or do you think he kind of knew?
I'm not sure, like, because I had to research in this deck until like the day before, and I don't know if I ever sent. So, like, the funny thing is, he probably had my list from Josh, if I had to guess. Which I have no problem with Josh giving me my list, of course. They're boys. Because yeah, I was playing I played against Josh on Friday night in this exact matchup, and we were like going back and forth about the list. So there's like, I don't know if he knows if there's a possibility of like I could just box through a research or something, or he just kind of knows my hands are tied and I have to get the Iono off the box.
Yeah. Did you know his list going to this or no?
I didn't get a chance to like double check it because my top 4 game ended later, but like Frink had sent it to me a long time ago, so I like had a vague idea.
Oh, okay, nice. Well, I mean, also I feel like he plays almost all his techs in the first game, so if you didn't know any, like.
Oh yeah, I knew about the Silent and the Devo, if that's what you mean, but like I didn't know like exact like energy and counts.
Oh yeah, but there's nothing like hugely surprising. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, like I knew he played the vacuum.
Cool. Okay, so going to this turn, so you push Curlia. I assume that's because you just want to bank damage on it, so you can just monkey lead.
Yeah, just farm damage, and I would rather not damage my EX here. Yeah, so I think the idea here is pretty straightforward. Iono, definitely want to deal with the Hoot Hoot. The question is if I should convert on this Fez kill right now or not. I'm not 100% sure, because now he's down to Silene and his Vacuum, so I know for sure he can never remove this. But if I kill the Hoot Hoot, I'm obviously giving him the Fez to use that turn. So it's about whether I want to be more robust to his Iono in the future, or whether I just want to deny him the Fez draw this next turn. Once again, the right answer I'm not 100% sure about. I think both are pretty fine. But yeah, I mean, his engine is almost like completely cooked at this point, so I feel like if I kill his Fez, he's very unlikely to draw into anything relevant. Essentially, he only has one Iono left too, I think. Because I think he does play 2, and he was down 1 earlier. Might be wrong about that.
Yeah, I mean, he also, you know that his stretcher, I don't know if he plays 2 or 3, but you know at least his second one is in his hand. So you play Iono, it's one on the bottom. So
yeah, I think they play 3 stretchers, so we'd have 1 live out for stretcher in deck. And then also, him re-benching the Fez gives me a really easy win con on prize trade here.
Yeah, just like boss monkey.
Yeah, exactly. Because otherwise I'd need to do like double monkey the Terapagos, but he could like kill one of my monkeys, and then I actually can't close the game out.
Yeah. Okay, so the camera was a bad job. You secret box for the rod to put back the tail in double dark.
Yeah, so this is the idea from last turn with getting the box. Get the rod and then go into the Iono to 5 plus refinement and hope I hit a monkey dark. My deck's pretty thin now, so I feel like pretty favored to do it, but if I recall correctly, I think I like get it on the last card, so it's a little scary for a sec.
Yeah. I mean, you have refinement as well, so you're basically looking at 7. Plus maybe
7
if you have a psychic left.
Yeah, it's probably over half my deck, yeah.
You have 2 dark, it's like probably like 90%. Maybe a little lower, but also at this point you have all 4 Poffins left, I think, which is kind of funny.
Is that right? Okay, yeah, I remember I draw like an egregious string of Poffins, but it's okay. I had to discard some anyway. Yeah, you're right, because I was sort of behind on rolls early. I like had to just raw draw. I think I just raw drew in all my rolls. You're right. Because I nest out for the Greninja, so I think I actually just drew in 3 rolls.
Well, yeah. Yeah, so there's a dark.
Yeah, okay, so now I just want to get, So I guess I must have super rotted back in the Scream Tail.
You did, you went dark tail.
Oh, I still had both my monkeys, I see. I thought to do monkey dark. But yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, here I just decided to kill it before even playing my search, just to make sure I can Ultra Ball the card I get off prizes.
Nice, yeah, that's a really good sequencing. Yeah, I think you draw like you get rid of the Arvin, I think, which you didn't need.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so here, and another thing about me going down to 2 prizes here is my deck is so thin, I feel like even if I am getting Iono to 2, I feel like I'll be able to close the game out.
Yeah. Yeah, like you have the Curlia draw, plus I think the boss is in the deck, not the hand, so if you get Iono, you're actually closer to the boss then.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, and like you just Iono him to 3, so like yeah, if you take out the Hoot Hoot here, it's like, it's very hard for Alex to draw anything good. Like you said, he has 1 Gus left, he has 1 stretcher that's live. The draw, so.
Yeah. And honestly, like, yeah, there's not even really anything he could draw that's like that scary this turn.
Yeah, I mean, also it's like, if he takes a knockout, his Ciaran's gone, so like, and he can't play boss and Ciaran the same turn, so it's like, he can never take 2 prizes on the following turn either. So
exactly,
you have so much time here.
Yeah, as long as I can draw into my boss eventually, I should always be winning in 2 turns.
I don't think he drew anything that good, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think he literally just attacked me and I just mind bent him.
Oh, he has the boss, I think. And then he's
going for Irida.
Do you like Irida for stretcher to get Fez here, or do you like...
Yeah, I think maybe he thinks the Fez is illegal, because that gives me like a straight line win condition to boss, but yeah, I'm not really sure what else you'd get here.
Actually, I don't
get like a stretcher and hold it.
Yeah, I don't even know what his win condition is anymore, to be honest. Like,
yeah, there's pretty much nothing.
Then,
yeah, at this point the game's probably just over.
Or maybe if he could make a second Palkia V-Star and then like Iono you and you just don't get boss, that's probably his way to win.
It's true, yeah, I am out of Scream Tail, but yeah, the Terapagos isn't quite good enough as long as I get another monkey down.
You push monkey here. Is there ever consideration to push Curlia again, or like no? You think it has enough damage for you, so you don't really care?
Yeah, it honestly doesn't. Like, yeah, the whole point is once I have like this 30 damage banked up, I'll always have enough for my monkeys for the rest of the game. So I think it just literally doesn't matter. I think both are good. Like every once in a while, there's a decision in Pokemon that actually doesn't influence anything either way, and I feel like this one is the promote.
Yes, I agree. Cool. So I think you're obviously, if you draw boss there, you just actually yeah, you do win. There's Palkia on the bench. Yeah. So I guess you're probably just thinking like here. So you have the option to attack with Gardevoir, which I think is bad because then you could lose. And And then when you push the monkey, were you thinking like, oh, Mind Bend's actually a completely acceptable attack here because you can two-shot it, or?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, so I think the question I'm thinking about here is whether I want to get a monkey down here, because technically if I drop a monkey, I lose to like boss area 0 full bench, which like and flip heads on confusion. But like also I don't think I can lose if I don't. But I think I do end up benching it just because I think that's so ridiculous. But I probably shouldn't have left like this 0.1% way to lose here.
I don't even think Alex had enough Pokemon left to get that.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. He's like one more fan rotom and that's about it. He probably drew the Bidoof from prizes.
Yeah. Yeah, you're alright though. I guess you could have held that Artisan for next turn, maybe. Or you could just play it and then just like wait for next turn.
Yeah, I'm just like worried about getting like bump Iono'd, but like that's such a again Anaclem, like I'm putting my monkey in like harm's way. Because I guess the consideration I need to make here is I can't move the 30 onto the active here. I have to put it onto the Terapagos with energy so that I can win if he just kills the active and Iono's me. So yeah, these are like all the things going in my mind. So like I don't mind artisaning for this monkey, but leaving like a direct way to like possibly lose the next turn is maybe a little sketchy.
Yeah, maybe you could if a pro curly up, you put 30 on the active, then you can draw a boss so you get Iono, because I guess you would know you have monkey in your hand if you kept Artisan. But like you said, like I don't think it matters. Like this
okay, so
like...
I actually didn't decide to Artisan. Okay, I decided to make it so I wouldn't lose.
Okay.
But now if you like Stadium bumps Artisan,
that's annoying.
I guess but my monkey's probably in deck if I had to guess.
Yeah, Alex's like only way to win, I think, is like E-switch, attach, make a new V-star, Iono, and then just hope you like draw like nothing. Then he has the boss again the next turn, I think.
Yeah, but I think I probably would even be guaranteed to hit the boss if he Ionos at this point, based on deck size.
Oh, he doesn't even play Iono, he literally just attacks.
Yeah, and then that's fine, I have the monkey, I think.
Oh,
okay, so the monkey was in hand. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if this game was like obviously in my favor just from the draws. Don't think I played like 100% accurately, but it was like decent.
Yeah, I mean, I think the accuracy was probably like 90% plus. So, yeah, I think that game was like you got like the Turo Curlia play was probably like the difference in setting you up for the game or not playing like that well. Or like not having a lot of risk set up to draw well.
Yeah, that's the kind of play where it's like I think a lot of people would see it, but like yeah, if you miss it, it's really bad. Like that single play probably boosts my win probably by like 30%. Like missing that I probably would have just lost.
Yeah, I think the other thing was just like Alex playing that clone for Iono was the other thing that could have maybe swung the game a lot. Other than that, I feel like from that point forward, I think both of you just like played the lines you were supposed to play, and then you were just too far ahead in terms of position to have anything else happen. Hey, hopefully you're enjoying the video. If you want to support me, consider checking out my Metafy group. I post puzzles, board state, VOD reviews, and I even do weekly group lessons. So if you're interested in supporting me, check that out. Otherwise, just enjoy the rest of the video. Alright, so we got game 2, so Alex is definitely going to pick to go first. So he has the option to Ninja you.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Okay, he opens Fan Rotom this game, so he's going to get a good setup.
Yeah, and he even plays the Ditto. I don't think he uses it though, but the Ditto would be pretty good here as well.
Yeah, the Ditto's pretty interesting. Yes. What, do you have to like attach the Rotom Retreat and the Ditto, I guess, into like whoever?
Yeah, probably into like Ninja or... Yeah, probably Ninja's best. Well, no, but you want to use the Prime with the Ninja. Yeah. I'm not even sure. It's kind of awkward to use.
I guess you get the
Trapagos with it.
Yeah,
Palkia or Trapagos. Yeah, one of those.
Whichever one you don't have. He gets Palkia. Oh, he has Heavy Ball 4 Ditto, but he doesn't have Way to Retreat.
Oh, yeah, his hand is...
I mean, it
doesn't
still
seem
fine,
great. But yeah, I mean, he has the Fan Rotom with the Trapagos, so it's always good enough if you have that.
He just doesn't have the energies, which is annoying. Or a Vessel. Yeah, if you were to like dump some energies, it puts a lot more pressure.
Yeah, I think actually from this hand right here, he's probably not... Well, he's probably favored to get the Greninja playoff turn 2, but like not by a lot.
Yeah, like he has double Noctowl outs.
Yeah.
Cool. Like when you face like this type of board, like what are some things you're thinking? Are you just like resigning yourself that you're gonna get Greninja? Like, do you try and wait to evolve? Or are you just like, I just evolve and get it?
No, yeah, no. This like there's actually like so this game I priced through Curlia. The general idea here is like it's a huge decision as to whether you should rip the Evo or not, in my opinion. Like if you can just get a bunch of Ralts down, especially because I have the Scream Tail active, I just get like 3 Ralts and a Manaphy down. it's sort of hard for him to progress the game. Well, this is what I was sort of mentioning before. Like he probably just goes like boss assault landing, which is a bit annoying. That's like something that the Palkia Dustar deck couldn't do, that the Palkia Noctowl deck can do. But yeah, the idea here is like if I just rip the Evo and he gringes me, I lose. If I'm able to drop a bunch of Ralts, force him just like boss something for a turn, and then manual evolve into a Kirlia, then rip the Evo, I can either get 3 Kirlias up at once, or I can get the Gardevoir EX directly from the Evo. So it gives me like a guaranteed way to buy into the game. But the thing is, with my prizes being so bad this game, I don't think I'm going to win like an honest fight. So in this case, I'm just going to try to like, it's kind of weird saying it, like I'm going to kind of try to cheese him and just like hope these 2 Kirlias survive.
Yeah, because like like you said, I guess like if these 2 Kirlias go down, then like you prize your second Evo and the next 2 Kirlias, so the game just becomes like impossible.
Yeah. I didn't realize I'd prize the second Evo. I was gonna like try to do some sort of super odd Evo play to keep me in the game, but we'll probably see in a bit that does not work out.
Yeah.
And also my hand here is terrible. I'll be able to get the Iono for next turn, but like, yeah, I don't think I'm winning if I just sit on the Evo. Oh right, yeah, I can't get the third Ralt out as well. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Oh no, I guess I get an Artisan.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
One thing to think about here is like we were saying earlier, kind of is like you're playing from behind, where like your opponent has such a good position or start. So like maybe your only way to win sometimes is to gamble and just be like, all right, like if I survive the next turn, I can win. Because you are gonna play Iono,
Yeah,
so like,
exactly.
one Noctowl goes to the bottom. So like.
Okay, yeah, I see. Yeah, okay. Right, this makes more sense. I haven't supported yet. So yeah, the thought process here is I'm going to attach to that Evo, get out 2 Ralts, Manaphy, and then Iono. And if I get like a good hand, maybe I can hold the Evo. If I get a bad hand, I'm just going to Evo and hope he can't kill myself.
Yeah.
And I think my hand ended up being pretty bad.
Well, one other thing I was going to ask you, so I think you attached to the Screamtail, you could have like boxed like the energy instead of the charm. Are you just saying like it's too risky that I'm going to whiff energy if I Iono?
Yeah, I've definitely been punished for, or not even punished, but like there's so many times where you start like Iono Evo and then Iono and you whiff the energy and it just feels terrible. Like the charm, as I sort of mentioned a couple times, like the charm isn't that essential to closing this matchup out. Like
Yeah.
I just want to get Curlius and Gardevoir EX in play. Like I'm willing to go down the charm for this. So yeah, let's see what I draw here. Because so the hand is, the hand's pretty weak. I think the only way, I don't have like another out for another Ralt.
We have Ultra Ball if you want to use it.
Yeah, but that's like so bad. Like I need to keep the Ultra Ball to like get the EX. But that's exactly what's going through my head here. It's like if I had an easy out to get to the Ralt. Well, okay. Actually, what I'm saying makes no sense because I'd already attached the Evo. So yeah, I guess I was always committed to just Evoing this turn.
Yeah, with the knowledge that we have that the second one's prized.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this is what it is. I could have got a third Ralt out, but my hand would have been terrible, and I'm just gonna be like, hope he doesn't kill it. But
yeah. I mean, Alex draws like raw Noctowl Ninja Stadium
and another Noctowl out. Yeah, this is perfect for him because now he can Vessel and then see what he gets off the Ninja and then commit the other Owl.
Yeah, I think for him it's like get Greninja this turn, and like the amount of pressure you're under. Like he basically gets 3 prizes before you can do anything if that happens.
Yeah, it's like these are the kind of spots. So my hand is actually Arven here. So if I were like somehow fortunate enough to have the other 2/2 Gardevoir or 2/2 Kirlia line in deck and along with the other Evo, which I'm missing 3 of those cards this game, of course. But if I were to have those, the game could actually get a little interesting. He starts 3 prizes ahead, but I actually get to establish my board, and he's had to commit a Star Portal. I think it's like winnable. But since I don't have that stuff, I don't actually have a real threat this game.
Yeah. Actually, wait. He's gonna get 4 prizes because next turn you get the bench roll, you get the manually evolve with the Kirlia, and then you can get the Gardevoir. Actually.
Yeah. No, this game is just fully over. If I have the other Evo, like he doesn't know he's gonna go up 4 prizes. From his perspective, it still might be 3. But yeah, I'm just done here.
Well, I mean, like he's making 2 Noctowls, so you could always late game Iono and like try and cheese a win, but.
Yeah, so we'll see it on the next turn. But what ends up happening is that if I had the other Evo in deck, I think I could Arven for Rod, use the Rod, Ultra Ball for another Ralts, and then make 1 more Kirlia. And he doesn't have the Noctowl down, so he's not guaranteed to find the Gauss. So I technically have a chance to play if I have the second Evo in deck, but I also prize that, which I didn't realize. Like I realized I had prized 2 Kirlias, but I didn't check the second Evo, which was probably a mistake in this matchup.
Yeah. So here's an interesting question. So he's gonna get the Prime Catcher clone, whatever. Do you ever consider scooping since you're like a slower deck than him, or do you think it's like this matchup, like I can win fast enough?
Yeah, I mean it's top cut, so it's like there's still 40 minutes left. I think as long as I'm going into game 3 with 20 plus minutes, I should never really have anything to worry about with the plus 3 turns. But yeah, I mean like this is also admittedly a 0% win game, so it doesn't really matter here. I think we'll definitely have enough time, but I'm also kind of wasting all the viewers' time by playing this one out.
Well, I mean, like the win probability is probably like 10 or 15%, just because you can just go Iono Scream Tail at the end of the game and see what happens.
I think that's a little high, but like
Sure,
I would put
okay.
it maybe in the 5 to 10% range. But yeah, if that's enough, since time is like literally not a factor, I'm totally okay with this.
So if this was like Swiss, there would you just scoop at this point because there would only be like 15
Yeah,
minutes
scoop
left?
I would Swiss. Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
question. Yeah, scoop I would Swiss I would definitely scoop.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, my philosophy with Gardevoir and like best of 3 Swiss is generally like, well, hopefully win the first game, and if you like win the first game with like 25 or like 30 or 25 minutes left, essentially just like see if you get into a good spot after a couple turns in game 2. If you don't, just scoop and try to win the game 3. Like give yourself 2 chances to just win because tying is so bad.
Yeah. Also, like with the way the format is with all these like 2 prize decks, like it's actually like you literally just need to take 2 prizes before turns gets called.
Yeah, 3 turns is so broken, dude.
Yeah. Because the 3 turns can take 15 minutes for all you care, but as long as you're at 4, it's like you're fine.
Well, I don't know. I saw you were like on Twitter apparently like hard cap your time.
Oh,
Or that was for like an extension, though, right?
Yeah,
They don't do that for 3 turns ever.
Can you imagine they come over like, oh, you take too long, no more 3 turns.
Forced tie, yeah, that would be terrible.
Yeah.
So right now I'm arbiting and despairing that I can't find the second Evo. Because I think I pull the rod to the front of my deck, but then there's no Evo, and then I like probably think about scooping here. I don't even know. There were like also maybe some Mawile ideas and hope he flips double tails on Silene, but
yeah,
it's just gonna take me so long to ever get to these spots.
Okay, so you get the
Greninja. I go for the Greninja.
So I don't even know if you have Poffin. Is this just one of your things where you're like, I need so much to go right, where I'm like, I might as well just play the aggressive line?
Yeah, well, my hand is literally dead here, so I'm not just gonna sit on a dead hand and hope to like draw into a stretcher for Curlia the next turn. Yeah, I mean, I guess like, but I'd rather just hope for a high roll Greninja at this point.
I think that's definitely the way to go.
I think I do end up getting the Poffin off the Ninja, but I mean, it's of course too little too late.
Yeah, it's like when I used to play Chempao, like if my hand was dead, I'm like, you always nest ball for Ninja instead of the Frigibacks. I'm like, I need the high roll to pop in or the VIP pass, whatever I'm playing.
Yeah, exactly. Like living off the top is just always terrible. Living off the top just is completely different than living off like a tiny bit of engine. I'll actually draw the rod raw, but so I could raw. Yeah. Brutal. I'm just despairing right now, I guess.
Yeah, so you probably just get rid of Flutter Mane and Spiritomb off all
Spiritomb?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm holding the Spiritomb.
Yeah. Do you ever retreat the Manaphy to save it for later or no?
The problem is I need like my hand size is kind of screwed right now. I need to keep the energies in for Ninja. And then I think I want to keep this dark because I'm committing the rod.
Oh, you don't even go for rolls actually. Interesting.
Huh. Okay, I probably should have. I don't know why I sat there and thought for so long and then just didn't do anything.
Well, I guess he didn't have Hoot down, so like it's not that unreasonable for him to not have boss here, I guess.
Yeah, I guess the issue here is that like I don't ever have the Evo, right? So like it's not like like getting the rolls down this turn is so important, right? Like I'm just
I think
maybe I'm just like full committing to the Mawile line at this point. I'm not really sure what I was thinking.
Well, he Iono's you. I guess he had nothing, so he probably has to just. He's like, if I draw an energy, he's like just attacking. So.
Yeah, but that means that there's like a couple. Well, definitely should have Ultra Ball for rolls. I think I should have rotted, but rotting doesn't really increase my curly outs because I have 2 stretchers in deck, and like both my curlies are in the discard, so it's not like rotting in the curly outs actually helps my outs.
Yeah, well, it's just
so maybe holding the rod is fine. Yeah. I still have my stretch. Yeah, I should have rotted in Ultra Ball there for sure, probably.
I mean, he missed an attack, so he gave you a new hand, so it gives you some life, I guess.
Yeah, if I had a Ralts down, I wonder if I drew a stretcher here. Maybe I really messed this game up. I don't even remember.
Yeah, you get Curlia. The next turn, he probably takes a prize. Yeah, I mean, you'd have some counterplay, I guess. He'd be
well, if he just killed that low, maybe my thought was like, I had to get 2 Ralts down at a time for it to be relevant. Because like if I just had the one Curly this turn, now he had the Hoodoo down. It like probably would have gone down.
Yeah.
But I still think it was a mistake for sure then.
Yeah, now you get 2 down, so like for sure next turn we get a Curlia.
Yeah, and ideally I get 2 so I don't just lose to boss. Yeah. If I had the Evo this game, I think it actually could have been interesting. Oh, and I start trying to boss stall here.
Yeah,
Being able to use the boss is nice, because then I still have my CCs open.
Yeah, you might as well do this. Like, you're so far behind. You're like, just hope he has nothing.
Yeah, and he's down his prime, so it's not like the prime is out to the gust and the switch. Like, you have to actually go for like switch boss or something like that.
Well, I mean, he's using his 3rd Noctowl now, which is nice for you. If he picks Switch as one of the cards.
Yeah. I think his best play is like trying to get like the glass trumpet involved to start charging up like his Terapagos and his barrel, which I think might be what he does here.
Yeah, I think he has E-Switch in his hand, maybe, or something. So he would have attached last turn if he had.
Yep.
He goes to the boss. Oh, he has Stretcher from the top, I think. I think that's how he's gonna... Oh, and he has Switch, okay.
Oh, he already did switch.
Yeah, I think last turn he just didn't have energy to attack.
Yep, checks out.
Wait, what's the better attacker from? Is it Van Rotom or is it Palkia?
I guess the one thing is like being able to use the trumpet to both the Terapagos and the barrel is. But yeah, you could just manual to the. Well, I'm down my charm, so his Palkia is invincible, so he probably should just attack with Palkia.
Well, no matter what, he gets a free turn because you're not attacking on the next one.
Oh yeah, there's like. Yeah, I don't think it matters here.
Yeah, I guess. Actually, by doing that, I was gonna say he saves his Stretcher by. Oh, but Birble's in the discard. Okay, so yeah, you definitely attack with this because you would have had the Stretcher for the water to Palkia.
Yeah.
So now you get Birble.
No, and he has the boss. Oh man.
Oh, do you think the boss was necessary? Because like he might need it later in the game to close it out. I guess just denying you Curlia while you can.
Well, it depends if he had like made a read on my prizes somehow at this point. He probably can't deduce that I've prized Evo and double Curlia. But like if he somehow deduced this, and like the chance of me getting 2 Curlias into play next turn is super low, which means he should probably just leave both the Raltas this turn. But maybe it was like too hard for him to figure that out. I don't really remember what kind of info I showed him. Okay, so I have the CC here. So like CC plus Rip Curlia is like maybe playable.
Yeah, you have to Arvin this turn, which kind of sucks. I feel like you really want to. I don't know if you could have.
Yeah, if I could. Yeah, well, he has a bib in play though, so honestly.
True, actually, you have to probably wait until you can knock it out.
Yeah, I mean, refreshing my own hand is nice.
Yeah,
and he's already.
I was gonna say, do we have to sacrifice the Scream Tail, or are you gonna retreat this turn? Because I think you probably want it next turn, right? To like snipe the Bibarel.
Yeah, the Scream Tail's good, but yeah, maybe I should just retreat into the Greninja here, though. I agree with that.
I mean, I think you have a stretch. I think you have both your stretches left. I can't remember if you have both, but I think we can get it back if we need to.
Oh, okay. So I decided instead of stretching, I decided to just Rod Ultra Ball, which I think is probably fine.
Yeah. I guess now you can let Scream Tail go down, and then you do get like on the next turn.
Still have the stretchers live. Yeah.
Because Alex's plate is 1 Iono, so you know your hand's never getting disrupted. Yeah, there's both Turos.
Hard to dump both Turos, but that's probably fine. And I think I just CC his Trap Ghost and hope for the best, but his deck is pretty small at this point, so I'm not feeling great about it.
Well, I mean, he's down his Switch.
Yeah, the issue is he still has the Thornton, the E-Switch. Well, I guess the Thornton doesn't quite get there. Yeah, maybe this play actually has a chance. Well, I know it doesn't, but looking back at it, maybe it did.
Yeah, because I guess he doesn't have a Hoot, so.
Yeah, exactly.
He gets an engine to discard this way. The Stretcher E-Switch.
Okay, yeah. The E-Switch is enough, but if he didn't have the E-Switch, maybe I thought the Thornton was enough, but I guess the Thornton wasn't really in.
Well, he could have turned into Rotom, which had 1 retreat. And then he could have like.
Yeah, but then what would he retreat to is the issue.
Well, then he would go. Oh, he'd have to have energy, but then he could E-Switch knock out Palkia, maybe?
Oh, yeah. If the E-Switch always gets it done, but I'm saying if he didn't have the switch.
Oh, yeah. Then he's just. Because, Scream Tail's 90, I guess. So.
Yeah, exactly. Be charging it up. Oh, yeah, and if you playing with Eileen is like extra bad for me here, yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is when I know he lost. He played it and got like double head, and then I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
So regression to the mean from the last game.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, bro, he went for the blue dye this time because last time he flipped tails with the red.
Ooh, I want to see what he does in game 3. I don't remember which color he used.
I don't know. That's actually why he picked those ones. It goes.
Yeah, without the Ciaran, I think I do still have my third TCF. So if he didn't do this, maybe I actually could have had some sort of trapping app. But now it's just like completely hopeless.
Because yeah, if you play Iono, you're just giving him the prime. So now Iono's not
exactly. Yeah. Anymore. Yeah, there was a time I was thinking about like I'm so tunneled on Iono controlling the format. I was considering playing like Cypher in my Guardy deck to try to make it resistant to Iono in the late game. Because like the effective Ciaran putting stuff on the top is like so good, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't even know what you do. I mean, you didn't even draw anything good this turn. Oh no, you still have Curly. You might draw Iono right now, but
I don't think I do. I do it so dramatically there. Yeah, holy moly, my hand is unbelievably bad.
Well, you get one more turn actually, at least, because you can't knock out Gardevoir probably.
Yeah, I think I really wanted the Monkey Dory down this turn, but without the Monkey Dory, I'm just like, yeah, it was kind of awkward because I drew the Moonlit Hill right after I dumped 2 Psychics. Then it was like, can't even like heal this.
Oh, you go for the Guardy attack, okay. I guess, yeah, actually, because you just want to take 2 prizes eventually. Do you ever consider going for the Scream Tail play to take a Bibroll, and the next turn try and go for Iono, or no?
Yeah, I think that would definitely be the best play.
Well, I mean, I guess next turn, if he punches Guardy, you can just Scream Tail. Oh, you're going to counter catcher the turn. Okay.
ICT kill Bib, yeah. Maybe that's not the best.
Because that's your last counter catcher, right? Yeah,
maybe I should hit active, wait to try to CC Noctowl, plus kill Bib the next turn.
Yeah, maybe.
Because then I'm also like, I already know the prime catcher's in hand this turn, right? So if I do it the correct way, then I like bypass the prime catcher being in hand and then Ionoing him. So I definitely think you're right.
Actually, looking at his deck, he doesn't. I don't even know if he has a switch out left, or he might have Ciaran left, but.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this turn, if he doesn't have boss, which I think he only has 1 and it's in his deck, he'd have to punch Guardy, and then we could buy ourselves 2 turns maybe.
Yeah, and then theoretically I could even be. Yeah, if you like whiff for 2 turns, I would win.
Yeah, which isn't that unrealistic to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, dude, yeah. Once the deck without the Bibroll in play is really.
Yeah, and all the Noctowls are played, like all the Hoots, because he plays 3/3, I think, so all of them are gone.
Yes, and the more we talk about it, like this game was a lot more winnable than I thought in the moment.
Yeah, I mean this is like Guardy's broken. Like it's definitely the best Iono deck.
yeah, it's not even close. Dredgy Jago like tries to. Oh wow, he uses a concealed here. I feel like that might be risky.
I think it's like, what is he even looking for anymore? Because yeah, like wouldn't you want to hold that for later? Because I guess he might know you're out of Gust now, right? So like maybe he's not worried about getting Gust anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I definitely should have held that CC that turn. I don't think I end up getting this Iono anyway, but.
Yeah, but yeah, it would have given us an out, I guess.
Yeah, I guess I lose to this. I could have lost this Devo theoretically on this hypothetical CC stall route. If he just went energy Devo'd me, he could have just Devo'd me with like a Noctowl.
Yeah, I mean, the more I watch this, like the Palkia's deck late game just seems like so bad.
It's so bad. Yeah, it's so bad.
Like it just seems like it's struggling to the finish line every game. Like its early game is definitely broken, but late game is not that good.
Yeah, any deck that doesn't have like one shot pressure on Gardevoir reacts is like. Yeah. They have just such crazy trouble closing the game out, especially with the questionable engine they have.
Yeah. Are you didn't put the damage correctly, Sketch? 1 damage.
And you saw me with the coins the whole set, bro. I'm trying to do a fast one on him.
Okay, I assume you drew nothing, so you just scooped.
Well, I didn't draw Iono, and I knew he had Prime in hand, so I was like, okay, let's get out of here. Let's respectfully exit.
No. Okay, that one could have been actually really close. So
yeah, a little bit better play, a little bit worse prizes. I think that could have been an interesting game.
For sure. I mean, you probably feel good that you get to go first in the last one, though. Like as long as you get like.
I was feeling good going into it before I looked at my opening hand, for sure.
Yeah. All right. So game 3. What do you start with? I think you start like Ralts or something. Oh, you start Drifloon, which is actually probably not that good of a starter. Kind of waste of bench space, I feel like.
Yeah, and it still dies to the fan rotom, which is what's annoying, I think. Like, I don't mind like a liability starter as long as it like survives the fan rotom, something like Mawile or Game Tail.
Yeah, I agree. Ralts.
So my hand is.
Yeah, your hand's really good, except you have no follow up for next turn.
Yeah, but the Gardevoir EXs is not great. So yeah, I make the play here where I decide to not drop the Poffin. So there's like the reason to drop the Poffin is of course to thin the deck out, get the Manaphy into board. And the reason not to is sort of like to bluff that my hand is like bigger than it is, or like to just conceal information and hopefully get Iono'd. The marginal value in each direction is like super duper small, but I'm not sure which one's correct.
Yeah, because I mean, I guess like you'd have to get more Ralt. You get Ralt's Manaphy's, and it would only matter if you get like triple Curly next turn. I feel like.
Yeah, exactly, and that's like definitely not happening.
Or I guess
as long as I have the one.
It thins your deck so that your top deck's more live. You can take 2 cards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I'm thinning 2 cards out versus like making this alleged bluff on his Iono, which like may or may not actually be.
Yeah.
I decided to just like play for this Iono bluff because I really thought it was like the only way I was going to win the game was getting Iono'd here. But yeah, as I said, I'm not sure which one's better. It's close.
I feel like I lean towards Poffin because I feel like he'd have to have Iono in his hand, which the odds of him opening his 1 copy is around 10%, and then like he'd have to pick it, and then if you Poffin, I feel like you increase your odds of a live card by maybe like 3% ish.
Yeah, they're 1 in 25. Like yeah, it's 1 in 25. I'll draw one of the cards that I didn't Poffin for.
Yeah.
So.
Like you said.
Yeah, whatever.
Like,
well, yeah,
whatever.
It's not worth thinking about too much.
We don't stress about these decisions. Yeah. Yeah, so I feel like after like you look at your hand, you were probably thinking that you were cooked, assuming Alex gets like any simple setup, right?
Yeah, and it doesn't get better for a little bit either. So I'm really just kind of going through the motions at this point. I feel like.
Yeah. Okay. His prize or whatever.
Yeah.
Actually, he plays Heavy Ball, so he can take Hoodoo, remember?
And his start is really good. He gets both the Palkia and the Tropicus and the Photo. Those are like the 3 big things this deck wants to get. Right?
Yeah.
Although I guess the Palkia isn't that important because like the fan random attack is just like so easy for him to use.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Palkia you need it to threaten Greninja turn 2.
Yeah, I just mean in this particular game where like.
Oh yeah.
I don't have much of a setup.
Yeah, his hand's pretty good on the next turn.
Yeah, and getting the Bidoof down is a lot. That's like the piece that he would miss the last 2 games, and the fact that he has it here is a lot more scary. Totally stops my Iono plays.
Yeah, like I think you didn't top deck one of the cards you could have Poffin for, so yeah, it didn't end up
mattering. Yeah, never punished. I priced some recovery this game. I remember I didn't price check here because I was kind of tilted, so that's good to. I think it ends up sort of coming up later.
Yeah. Attach. What's the idea behind the attach here? Is there something we're looking for later?
It's just like I'm prepping something to. I don't know. It's like playing around like the Omega high roll of like me getting like some sort of Evo out and then getting a Monkey Dark, which like all of this would have to start with like some sort of Iono play probably. And it's like I'm not really like the way it gets punished is if he like boss kills my Ralts and then I draw Evo or something like that. As long as that doesn't happen, I'm never getting punished.
Yeah, Alex is interesting because he has double Noctowl, so it's like realistically.
Yeah, how hard should he go?
Yeah, like should he go right now for Greninja or should he just play it slow? I think I'm in the camp of I would just play it slow because you have drawn such like a slow start. Like there's no need to like go crazy.
Yeah, I definitely agree with not ripping the Ninja here. That would be a little too over aggressive.
Yeah. He he has Bibarel too, which is huge.
Yeah, the Bibarel's perfect. Oh, and he has a clone in his hand.
And he has boss in his hand, so like yeah, later on he can.
Oh, okay. Jeez, yeah, I did not realize this.
But I mean,
it's kind of awkward.
You can just like fan Rotom this turn, then you save V-Star and you save Greninja.
Yeah.
Yeah. I assume. Oh. Or is second Noctowl, okay. Yeah, I assume now he gets the Greninja, just so he can even start concealed cardsing. And switch, yeah, I think he's gonna go for Rip.
So I guess he had to get the Area Zero, so I guess that's why he had to rip both the Noctowls here. Wait, if he could have saved one of the Noctowls, that would have been sketchy for me.
Yeah. Wait, he actually Ultra Balls 2 water to get Greninja.
Does he have Trumpet? Or...
He got rid of Trumpet Vessel, didn't he?
So his hand is Switch, Cologne, and what's the last card? Boss?
Yeah, why wouldn't he just pick Nest Ball then switch to... So you get Greninja, switch, attach. Because now what happens if
he wants to rip...
water?
Yeah, this is... Wow, wait, yeah, this is really risky.
Because wait, if we commit the switch, we're only drawing 3 off of Bibarel.
Was he gonna pre-rip the boss here? I forget. Or did he already? Oh yeah, he needs a
He
supporter.
hasn't supported yet. Wait, yeah, he does pre-rip the boss. Wait, he doesn't even play the Switch pre? So if he didn't get water here, he wouldn't have been able to
What? This is egregious! Oh my... What? That's insane. If someone like double knockouts and bibs and then doesn't get the 70 HP knockout, that... Wow. Okay.
Because if you would have picked Nest Ball, you get Greninja, and then you can concede
Yeah, and then
cards,
you use
and then
it,
the
and
energies
then...
are still in the discard. Wait.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right. That was super weird.
And then he didn't pre-commit to the Switch either to draw one more card. Huh. That
Yeah,
was definitely not
that's
right.
like definitely...
Like, I have to go back and look at it, but like that was definitely not the right way to play it. I think I actually made that board, so I can look. If people want to look at that board after and try it yourself, you can try it.
Okay, yeah, I had no knowledge of this during the set, but yeah, looking back on it, wow, he almost really... That was really risky from him.
Yeah. So, I mean, now this counter catcher actually has a lot of value because like he doesn't have Hoot Hoot to just go and grab, and he played a Switch.
Yeah. By the way, I teleportation burst into another world here. It definitely should have been the Drifloon. I don't really know what I was thinking.
Just to sack this? Yeah.
Yeah, like it was. Yeah, this was gonna be a sack regardless. It ends up not mattering, but I definitely should have sacked the Drifloon.
Here's another vessel. Yeah, now he doesn't have Greninja down, so that's a lot more draw he doesn't get either. Okay, he just has Ciaran. Nice.
It's Rock Ciaran. Okay.
Okay. I mean, yeah, for him, like, there's no reason to do anything but attack with Fan Rotom.
Yeah, I guess like if you can get a Greninja now, that'd be nice, but that's about it.
I remember I was listening to the audio when I watched this, and like I can hear you like excitedly say like, "Hey, I got Iono!" Like,
yeah, I mean, it's definitely the best possible card I could have drawn here. It's like I still feel like I definitely should lose this game, but you know, I'm obviously happy to draw it.
So do you attach the Drifloon right now because you're basically saying I need to draw Evo off of this Iono?
Yeah. Evo is the only way. Okay. Yeah, when I draw off the Iono is really good. It's exactly what I had to draw. Had to draw an out to Curlia and an Iono. And Manaphy is like optional.
Okay. So I guess you can protect from the Greninja by getting a Curlia right now and going straight to Gardevoir.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the idea is like sometimes like Manaphy is obviously really good, but sometimes you can do stuff to make it like really awkward for them in Moonlight Shuriken. Like killing Drifloon plus Curlia here doesn't really feel very good for him. So that's sort of the idea. It's like I don't care about the Manaphy that much here. Make him make the tough decision on this Greninja play.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Greninja would take a lot of resources, and then like he's down his V-Star, he's down.
Yeah, no Noctowl's in play. Maybe if I kill the Bib, could be dicey.
Yeah, you also get another card draw this way, which is nice.
Yeah. And I have the Iono for next turn, which is really good as well. So even if he takes my Curlia plus Drifloon here, I'll have some way to refresh the hand.
Yeah, the funny thing is just like this matchup, like you're so far behind, but I feel like your deck is just so much better than his once they're both set up. So it's like you're still very much in it.
I mean, it's kind of true with every deck, bro. I mean, like it's especially pronounced with Palkia, bro. But like, I mean, this Gardevoir deck is just broken, man.
Gardevoir is like one Iono away from winning always.
Yeah, exactly. It's like so much has to go wrong for you to actually lose a game where you got set up.
Okay. Yeah. So now for his turn, like. He's already used the boss, so it's like you'd have to use a second if you want, or prime to knock out Curlia, which is probably not worth it. And like,
yeah, I think the big question is, do you rip the Greninja from his perspective? And I think my inclination, I think, well, obviously knowing what happens, like, you should have ripped the Greninja one of these turns. I think you should have ripped the Greninja this turn. Yeah. Go down to 2 prizes, get rid of all my draw. Yeah. It's not foolproof, but the fact that you're also getting the Fez down. Having the Fez and the Bib means like you're guaranteed draw in some capacity, right?
I guess yeah, like because if you want to keep doing broken stuff, like if you just Iono for 6, like it's actually kind of hard to draw like everything you need. Yeah. Just having 1 Curlia for the rest of the game is like enough, but having 0 is definitely. Yeah, because I guess he's also giving you time like next turn if you like he doesn't know you prized it, but like you can like Super Rod and like you can get Manaphy down now and then like get the Ralts. So I don't know if there's gonna be as clear of an opening as there is this turn to do it.
Yep, exactly. I agree.
I mean, he does get it, but I guess just to threaten on the board and to have the draw.
Yeah, I'd say the next turn is probably the most pivotal here because he like fills his board with all the stuff.
Yeah, so now going into this turn, are you just thinking like I need to knock out that bib and just hit him with I don't know and just hope things start going my way, or do you have some other like lines of thought or lines of play in your head right now?
Yeah, I mean, it has to. Everything has to start with killing the bib. There's no way I can ever win this game if bib is in play. And yeah, I mean, combining with an Iona this turn is obviously great. And then the other thing I'm thinking about is like a stadium bump would be nice here. Because he has these two Noctiles as obvious discards. The last one could be like a little bit annoying for him. Well,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens, but yeah.
Yeah. So you're gonna refinement here before you Iona. Is that just because you want to get the psychic in the discard?
Yeah, having the psychic in the hand is, I think it's worth it here. I'm pretty sure I think I might need it in order to use this turn.
And I guess you already have Scream Tail in your hand, so like you're not really looking for anything else this turn.
Yeah, exactly.
The general rule with them is you normally like draw and then refinement, but this is a great example of like when you would do it first. This card's getting stuck to the table. I hate playing on the stream tables, bro. Like it's the worst.
Yeah. Now, have you ever had this thing with the coin enforcement, dude? The coin enforcement.
Oh, bro, it's the worst, bro. Like they're always like
yeah,
they get mad at you if you don't do it. Like, yeah.
It's so unnatural for me.
It's like I'm deep in thought, and they're like, "Oh, can you put the coin on your Archeops?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can." So, okay, so here's a big moment in the game. So yeah, describe your thought process on his discards.
I mean, I thought like it's like a slightly annoying for me to him to discard his Trap Ghost, but I thought that this was like sort of the obvious discard at this point. But he ends up dropping his the Fez, which I think is everything that happened following from here, like followed from him discarding the Fez. Like part of the reason why his position is so strong is, as I sort of said before, when you have the Bibarel and the Fez, you're guaranteed some sort of draw next turn. If I kill the Bibarel, you're guaranteed to get the Fez, and if I ignore the Bibarel, you're going to get the Bibarel. So in my mind, you sort of have to discard something that's not an engine piece here, and like pretty much everything else on the board is like providing a really, really good role except the Tropicus. So I definitely think you should drop the Tropicus.
Yeah, I agree too. Like Tropicus isn't doing anything. It's like your bench space is about to open up, so you can get the Tropicus back.
Yeah, and the Tropicus is the thing that can get trapped also.
Yeah. Well, so maybe one thing I was thinking, I know one of the cards he drew is research, so maybe he's thinking like, oh, I can just draw next turn anyways. I think his hand is research water. I forget what the last card is, but yeah, I agree because you know like this is getting sniped this turn. So even if you want to play research, you can just keep the Fez and like do more stuff later.
Yeah, like I'm not putting any threat on the prize trade, so it's not like getting rid of the Fez is winning. Like my whole way of winning this game has to be controlling his draw. So he's gonna get like unlimited Fez procs. Like I kill the Bib here, he gets a Fez proc, and then the next turn I have the decision of like whether I kill this Hoot Hoot or not. If I kill the Hoot Hoot, he gets another Fez draw. So it's like 6 cards that are coming in due time. So
yeah. So his hand is really actually broken. He drew Water, Research, Noctowl. Those are 3 pretty good cards actually.
Yeah, I guess the one thing is though, like the Noctowl is actually not a great draw here.
Because I guess you're gonna play Research, right? You don't want to dump it, but it gives him options, I guess. So, I mean, he could maybe Greninja next turn if you don't get Manaphy down.
Yeah, I think he should also Greninja again this turn, but he ends up not Greninjaing this turn.
Okay, and I think the only thing that could have made your turn better is if you would have got Monkey Dory down. But that would have been asking for like a lot, I feel like.
Well, I actually had it here, but I think I messed up here. So I actually drew both stadiums off my Iono. I drew the Artisan and I drew the Moonlit Hill, and I had a Dark.
Oh.
So if I dropped the Artisan, I could have got the Moonlit Hill down. I thought like he could. I think I thought he played 4/4 Noctowl, and I thought that
okay.
Yeah, but I was wrong. He plays 3/3 because he was playing the Bib. So yeah, this was a mistake.
And he draws Terapagos now, so it's kind of funny. It's like instantly punished for not discarding Terapagos.
Yeah. Ooh, I see. Jeez.
Well, maybe he's thinking I have Noctowl. I'm gonna research, so maybe he's thinking I can just Noctowl for Stretcher.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Here's another thing, like, if he's gonna play research this turn, I don't actually really like the concealed cards right now. Because I feel like there's a lot of draws where it's like, then, like, you have to research them away. I don't know. And then, yeah, like, he draws boss now, so now his hand is, like, super awkward. It's like, hey, well, I'm not researching this boss, right? So it's like...
Yeah, I guess so that's why he doesn't rip the ninja. He gets, like, this boss, sort of gets tempted and just boss kill Kirlia, and then save the ninja.
Yeah.
But going down to 1 prize really makes it awkward.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I don't know, but like you haven't played a single recovery card yet. Like, I feel like you're just gonna get Manaphy now, right? Like, or like you can get Manaphy, like if you have it.
Yeah, I could get the Manaphy back. Well, I did price 2 of my recovery cards, but he doesn't know, of course.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's pretty hard for him to access the Cologne.
So
Yeah, I ended up doing something a little different than the Manaphy,
yeah.
but same
One
idea.
other thing I was thinking when I was watching this game is you're at 5 right now, so like you can take a 1 prize knockout this turn. Is like I almost feel like maybe we should have just put the Noctowl this turn because I think it's like really obvious your best play here is I don't knock out Hoot Hoot. So like I feel like we could have Noctowled and like maybe like got the Fez back or like even get the Bib like the Bib roll. I guess you can't get the Bib roll line back, but you just get both. But
no, maybe you could because you play the Thornton, right? You could go Thornton.
You can go Thornton Stretcher actually.
That would have been a really strong play. Yeah.
You Thornton this, Stretcher, and then you bench the thing again.
Yeah, unless he was like gated by recovery or prize something.
Wait,
that would have been.
He could do that, and then I feel like he could Greninja your Curlia and your Screamtail, and then like I
with
feel
the
like
Bib in play.
Yeah, like that feels so hard for you to come back from.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was a good
because then he's at 1, so then you can't even Screamtail his Bib roll actually, because then the game is.
Well, then I just lose to switch. Yeah, exactly.
Wait, I think I made this board somewhere. Wait, no, I made it somewhere. Wait. I think it's this one. So we're basically saying like this is his hand, right? We're saying like you go Noctowl or Thornton Stretcher.
Yeah.
You Thornton that into this. You Stretcher. You make the Bibarel. And then you can. He only have 1 energy in the discard, so you can even Concealed now if you want, because we're gonna beast our power. You can like Concealed, and then you would draw 2 random cards. So I guess we would draw these ones. Then you could like bench. You could even Bibarel for 2. You could like retreat. Now you start Portal. 1, 2, 3. And then actually you could even leave the Screamtail alive if you want. You could even knock out the Ralts. It doesn't matter.
Well, I think you should get rid of the Screamtail because like my next play has to be countercut your Trap Ghost and Screamtail by barrel.
So you do this. Because now like Henry's counterplay is really bad because like he doesn't have any draw. I mean he can make another Curlia, but now you're at 1, so Screamtail is not a viable attacker anymore. Right? Because if you Screamtail, then the Palkia can just knock it out.
Yeah, well, I would have to countercut up the Trap Ghost to Screamtail and just hope he misses. But I lose.
But then E-Switch can be an out.
Yeah, I lose to a lot of things.
And then Bibarel just survives. Or no, Bibarel's going down. But like,
Bibarel will die, and so you're still running into some issues, but it definitely goes better than the position you ended up in. And all of these would be alleviated if you had the Fez.
Yeah, like if we had Fez in play, like you don't even bench Trapagos. And then like our board is just this. And like this board's like insane actually. And then like,
this board is unbeatable, yeah.
Yeah, because you can't if you knock out Bib, you get Fez. If you try and trap, you get Bib. Yeah, I feel like
and I don't even have good trapping outs, right?
Yeah. So I feel like Alex definitely had not a checkmate board, but he could have put like a board where it's like almost impossible for you to come back actually on this turn. So
I agree.
Interesting. But yeah, instead we get a very interesting scenario play out. So because now I assume you're just like, all right, that Hoot Hoot has to go down, and then like he can go to 1, and then And I think you still have like 2 or 3 Ionos left, like.
Yeah, no, that's the one thing about bricking in the beginning, right? Like, I still have so many resources left in my deck.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, now the monkeys get online, so like, now your deck is gonna be a full setup.
All the tricks. It's like, maybe I should have got the ninja there. I don't know. No, actually, never mind. I thought I could have played the artisan. I don't know if it would have been worth it. And I get the ninja here.
Yeah, I guess you just save it.
Oh, and this is where the heavy ball comes up.
Yeah, I remember. I remember watching it. Like you're gonna secret box, but it's like you heavy ball, and then now you have to discard a good card.
Yeah, and this comes from me having like absolutely no idea what's in my prizes at this point, which was bad. Like, definitely don't do this at tourneys.
Okay, never punished. There's a lot worse misplays to make than just burning a heavy ball.
Yeah, I know. It's like a silly mechanical thing that like it's just so easy to avoid, but the punishment isn't that bad. This is sort of an interesting discard decision. So it's obviously the Turo and the Evo, but then the question is, do I want to Stretcher for Manaphy or Bravery Charm my Screamtail out of Greninja range? So one of them is losing more to the Vacuum, one's losing to like Prime Cologne. But then the other bonus of not having the Manaphy on board is I have room for the second Monkey Dory.
Yeah, and you also don't lose to boss 8. Actually, there's no way you're losing to boss 8 bench on his side, but
yeah. Oh, and then the other thing is, if I'm able to eventually evolve the second Curlia into a Gardevoir EX, if I make this Bravery Charm play, then I don't even lose to Vacuum, as long as he misses for this one turn. So I think this one definitely has the most upside, and it's probably the better play overall. But the Manaphy play, I think in hindsight, probably would have won the game too.
Yeah. Okay, so you actually move the damage off the Scream Tail. So this is just to get it out of Greninja range?
Yeah, that's the whole idea here.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't just lose a switch; it has to be switch vacuum, which is pretty unrealistic.
Yeah. I think you probably should put it on like it's either like Terrapagos or Fan Rotom, I guess. Yes.
Yeah, I'm pressuring the fan Rotom here because I can go over like this 3-1 prizer line.
Yeah. And I mean, like you said, you have a bench space for a second monkey, so if you want to start one starting the Terrapagos, it's not that hard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this gives you those options, I think. Yeah, and his hand was pretty bad here.
Yeah, I don't even know what he should do. Yeah, like Ultra Ball, Stadium,
Yeah.
So like now you know like, that you're pretty much chilling. So like now basically you just have to convert this. So are you thinking now like don't take a knockout so like that stretcher is not even an out for him anymore?
Nah, I'm thinking I want to just kill this Palkia. Well, not this turn, of course, because I'm down my charm. But I'm thinking I want to try to kill this Palkia over 2 turns. But yeah, definitely don't want to take a knockout this turn.
Yeah.
It's like no reason to. I think I just want to threaten this Palkia. Well, what ends up happening here is I like kind of delay my decision here. I decide I'm gonna go like rip my draw and see if I get the boss. And if I get the boss, which is what ends up happening, then I for sure know that I'm gonna try to target this Palkia. If I don't get the boss, maybe I would have tried something else. But I think that 2-shotting the Palkia is probably always the right choice.
Yeah. Okay. You get rid of the monkey there. So like you're saying you don't need the monkey?
My hand was like really awkward to discard. I think maybe it should have been the Artisan, but I wanted to keep the bump. But essentially I had the stretcher in hand. So it was like
okay.
I was gonna stretch this monkey back. I think I'd do it either this turn or next turn. So here I mess up a bit. I think I should load 1 energy onto my Gardevoir and move the damage over to Palkia to set it up for a Miracle Force knockout the next turn.
Yeah, because you're doing 270 now with the thing. Yeah, and then that saves your monkey to if you get double monkeys, you can move
exactly.
Yeah.
But I still should just be winning in 2 turns.
Yeah, I don't think did he. Oh, he dropped like Silene. Yeah.
It's the Silene is interesting. Yeah, it's like not that good.
He doesn't even have any good in his discard, if I remember correctly. Like...
Yeah. Oh, use the red dice this time. He went back. Yeah, I think this was really smart for him. The stretcher grab is really nice because it's like if I don't take a knockout, it turns into concealed cards. If I do, it turns into Fez. So that was sort of clever. But yeah, then the second card having to be the switch kind of sucks for him because I was gonna boss and kill something this turn anyway. So it's actually a dead card for him.
Yeah, like low key, he'd rather flip like 1 tails.
Yeah, right? Yeah, exactly. The fact that he has to commit this switch hard to me like gives me too much information.
Yeah. So definitely stretcher on top, I think, and then...
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so I think he did put him like that, okay. I guess he has to pass, right? Oh, he just plays Stadium Bump, that's fine. But you kept ours on anyways.
Yeah. Which I think I do bomb.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason not to, right?
Yeah, it's just like... Yeah, I don't even think he has anything he can art, which I probably should have realized. I'm pretty sure I do bench it, though.
Oh, I guess... Oh, Alex was also thinking about... Let's talk about this, actually. Like, he was thinking about doing Star Portal, because if he doesn't do it this turn, then... if Palkia goes down, he might be in trouble.
Yeah, I think he definitely should have. I'm sort of telegraphing that I'm going to kill the Palkia next turn, right? By doing what I did before. So there's almost no drawback towards committing it.
So one thing I was curious about asking you actually is him putting a stretcher on top. Did you ever think that one of the cards in his hand was Thornton? Because like if you attack, you can go Thornton and then just make Palkia and like win with Moonlight Shuriken maybe. Actually no, wait, no, you can't knock out 2 things.
Yeah, he would still need the vacuum.
Yeah, never mind. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, my read was that his hand was just unplayable, but like I didn't know what unplayable card. I mean, it ends up being like a Ditto, which is like one of the worst. But yeah, like stadiums, that he had a stadium in there, that makes sense. Yeah, so this turn I'm just thinking I want to boss, kill with the X, and then just win the next turn by killing the 2/1 prizers.
Yeah.
Here I actually almost make a really bad mistake. If I had ripped concealed cards here, then he would have had trapping outs on me. So I'm glad I like stopped myself to check my deck with Poffin, and then not concealed cards.
Yeah. So yeah, you have 1 dark, 1 psychic left. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to drop the second monkey this turn. Yeah. If I had used my adrenaline last turn though, then I wouldn't have had the T to get the second monkey down. So yeah, a bit of a mistake there.
Yeah, because I'm wondering, what is his way to win? Is it literally just like the Thornton thing plus vacuum?
Well, actually, yeah, I do bench the second monkey, so theoretically he could actually have some sort of. If he had like his entire hand was like basic Pokemon, then maybe he could kill me with the Palkia. Because I end up leaving 20 damage on my Gardevoir EX here to guarantee I can win if I get gusted. Yeah, because I need enough damage on my board. So that makes it so that I'm at 290, so he needs like 7 basic Pokemon. So we need 4 more plus the Palkia. So yeah, it's like pretty unrealistic, but that would be like technically a winning play.
Yeah. I don't even think he has enough basics though.
Yeah, I don't think he has enough cards in hands to pull it off. I don't think he has enough basics. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't play Artisan either. Like you could have played Artisan down maybe then.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. I should have. I think I was worried that I'd be giving him a basic, but it's like stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it doesn't matter. Like, yeah.
Yeah, this is like his in this game. Like he just doesn't have enough stretchers to keep up. It feels like.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair though, I do think that one line we found, like, I think that would have won him the game for sure. Or not
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure,
no,
like it would have like made him like really favored.
Yeah, yeah. The Thorn bid play or ripping the ninja more aggressively definitely all would have increased his win probability. And then like not discarding the feds was still the swing. Like if he didn't discard the feds, I think he would have won the game for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't even know what he can. Yeah, I think the game's lost at this point. I think as soon as you don't see him slamming cards down, you're like, all right, I won. Like.
Yeah, no, it's like thinking in here for sure.
Yeah.
I did like pretty much guaranteed game the next turn.
That's always the best feeling when like you know you lose and your opponent gets a certain card. They're not like slamming cards. I'm like, all right, the game's over. Like.
Yeah, that's a good thing we do as a community. We respectfully like show game if we have it. So they're like that means if they don't slam it, you should be good. On PTCGL, some people like to BM and hold the game for too long, and that really pisses me off.
Bro, people get mad sometimes if I flash boss on them, like when they commit like a non-Iono supporter. I'm like, all right.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, like, it's best of 3. I'm like, yo, let's save some time. Like, let's play the next game. Like.
Yeah, exactly. Just got to keep all the EV, bro.
Yeah. And then here, like, yeah, you just have game on board.
Yeah, I think I could have. Yeah, I could have done multiple things here.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so second dub with Guardy. That game was like looks so bad. Like you're probably in the spot. Like, how did I win that? Like.
Yeah, like I think I played like all right from this spot. I got pretty lucky with some of his mistakes, but yeah, I mean it felt pretty good. I mean, yeah, my deck is just so broken, so as long as I get a Gardevoir EX up, I can kind of do what I want.
I mean, yeah, you played really well to get there. Like the mistakes we're talking about are stuff like not like playing heavy ball or like monkey dooring like 2 damage like on 1 turn. It's like not egregious, right? So
yeah, nothing like insanely bad.
But I mean, like, yeah, like for people watching, like, if you're trying to get better, like this is the type of stuff that you review and say like, oh, I could have improved, right? Like Henry won the regional, and we're still looking at, or he's still like reflecting on ways he could have played even better. So, yeah, awesome, man. Well, Henry, thank you so much for VOD reviewing this. I think this was probably like so valuable for people learning, even for me just talking through some of the lines with you. So, is there anything else you want to say before we end off here?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on for the channel. Thanks so much for everyone who watched my games and supports me. And yeah, that's about it. I'll see everyone at UIC.
Nice. Like 0 shilling. Love to see it. Go follow Henry. He didn't even plug his Twitter.
Appreciate it.
All right, catch you guys later.